Let's see. We got CDT. Um, all right. Doom. So today, I'm looking at the scans. I see CDT leading with 57% up. VYNE 52%, $3.42. Moats, which is a little bit cheaper one at 50 cents, 23% up. Looking through. Let's see what we can see. I have been working on setting up my TOS back to being a tradable platform. Switched over to Schwab, got my accounts all set up. All I need to do is wait for Friday when they do the switch over. I was gonna call early and just tell them to switch me over, but I'm gonna use these last couple of days to enjoy Street Smart Edge, and we're gonna make some money. Either way it goes, the big thing to realize is the strategy is what matters. The platform is just a tool to assist you in your trading. But yeah, seeing a whole bunch of dumpers from last week. BKYI was one that was up pretty big, moved back down. All right, but yeah, let's jump over here to the other screen. This is going to probably be my trial setup for the one of my screens for TOS. I got my current watch list here. When I do add any kind of tickers on my other screen, it'll automatically pop over here. And I got my small cap, mid cap rangers. I want to see what has range in the small cap and the mid cap world. Now these, the only thing is with how the scans are set up, they don't actually start scanning until the open when they can start calculating. So those will be blank over here until the open. Let's see. But other things that I'm kind of keeping up over here, I have the SPY I was looking at, and the SPY is just doing this thing. Came down here to around the 400 level. Got to figure out what it wants to do. What was I looking at? Massey. I wasn't really looking at Massey. The NQ also coming back up after hitting these lows and making higher highs. We'll see if it wants to continue any kind of downtrend or if it wants to consolidate for an upward movement this week. But yeah, we're watching everything. We are watching everything. But top watches on today. Let's look at some of this news as well while we're floating around. VYNE up 51%. The news on it says BYNE Therapeutics announces positive data for phase 1B trial of novel BET inhibitor. So that's a biopharmaceutical. Let's see what kind of money are they talking though. Let's bring this over here. Are they talking any specific monies? Okay. Dose of kilohertz, progression of skin depigmentation. Oh, this is for vitiligo patients. Okay. So sometimes when you see patients with the decoloring skin, this is what this is for. Okay. It looks like they got some positive phase 1B results. We'll see what happens in 1C or 2. I don't know if they're going to continue another trial or what. The other one that's up is CDT. Investors look ahead to FOMC meeting, which they always are. I mean, every Monday they talk about this FOMC meeting, but like sometimes if they're going to be dropping major bombs, sure, it may affect the overall market greatly. But for the small caps, I mean, most of those meetings, the small caps just don't care, bro. They don't care. Another one that's coming up here is RVPH. I'm seeing RVPH. It is up 33%, a million shares traded on it. A little bit lower float as well. I'm gonna add these over here so they can populate. CDT, BYNE, and RVPH. All right. So we got those over here as well. The good thing is once I do finally move Street Smart Edge here, then I have all of my charts being able to be drawn upon at the same time. That is going to be nice. RVPH, the news on this one is Reviva announces positive top line results from global pivotal phase 3 recover trial of brilaroxazine for schizophrenia. Okay, so we know everybody pretty much knows about schizophrenia, a little bit at least. Okay, so it says they successfully met a primary endpoint. They used 50 milligrams, delivered a statistically significant and clinically meaningful 10.1 reduction in positive and negative syndrome scale. Okay, did they get any kind of investment, or is this their news? This is the end of it. So they have very positive results on schizophrenia here. And they may actually be the top watch out of the open. We'll see. They're only up 34%. But we will definitely be watching it. RVPH. Look at that bad boy going up. It looks very interesting. Let's go check the float on this thing. Actually, let's check the float on all three of these right now that are over $1. Good morning, Danielle. So we got, let's go with the most exciting one first, RVPH. Actually, this is the wrong. Let's go to Yahoo. Statistics, we have a float of 17.65 million. That's a very low float. Good morning, Lori Lee. I thought you were about to say ho ho ho. I was like, yeah, it's a little early for that, but we'll take it. Let's see. But that looks very interesting on that statistical float. Let's see what is held by insiders, 21.86%. Um, we got the institutions with the very small holdings in there. This one might be the one that excites people, to be honest. It's up $5. It is producing a nice little range. We look over here on the scans, we can see it has right now, before it starts calculating during the day, has a 46 cent ATR. So, I'm thinking it can give some pretty good winners, 6, 7 cent, 8 cent winners on RVPH. If we look at the daily chart, actually, is this the daily? It's 15-minute max daily. Okay, if we look at the daily chart, we can see that it came down here to 50 cents and has been working its way up. Has a little flat bottom that it kind of sat upon on 375 and then popped up here to wow, that thing just jumped down. It was at 5 something. Okay, it is now back down to 458. But so that this little area right here is where it just dropped back into. So it has a bottom 375, 458, and has a top up here probably the around the $6. Is that obvious level. Let's zoom back a little bit and see if these correlate with anything in the past. We will extend, and extend. So we can see that this actually looks like a shoulder pattern that failed. So this is one shoulder, a head, and a little looked like a double top shoulder that came back down to 375 and then popped back up. So there's a lot of popping in here. We don't see a long history of it giving back profits. 2 days back here, it had a little bit of a sell-off, but not a whole lot of pop and drop. So yeah, RVPH isn't looking bad for this morning. And then VYNE, let's go check that float. Up 47%. We have a float of 3.16 million, very low float. But if we look at the held by insiders, very low holdings for the insiders, and 11% holding on the institutions. Shares percent float, not shares, short percent float. That was on October 13th. We are now in October 30th. Let me go and look at the short squeeze for this one. BYNE. See if it's more up to date. Short interest decrease. There's a -8 decrease, and this one is 20 minutes delayed, so it was last updated around 8 o'clock or whatever. So a negative short interest on VYNE. Let's look at FinViz as well, VYNE. All right, shares outstanding, very low float, short float, yeah. 1.66 short. Ooh, that is a small short interest. So not a lot of shorts on top of VYNE, but we've seen these go a little bit before at the open when people don't realize that there are no shorts. We'll see what kind of action they get to the upside. We'll see if we can identify any levels on it. And then the last one is CDT. The $1.57. Float looking like 17.77 million. Does not show any insider or institutional holdings. Let's jump over here. GT. Okay, very low float, under a million in the float. Short interest. Okay, this one's got 6% short interest, but float per ratio, short float, and then short interest is still very low though. Average volume per day is 163,000. It is well over that. getting some higher RVOL in their relative volume. Let's see. Institutions. So institutions own 68.12% of this one, and insiders own 87.57. But I don't know when this one was last updated, so I'm going to take that as with a grain of salt. CDT. Okay, nothing there. No information. All right. Next, let's go look at these. Don't see any shelf registration sticking out on CDT automatically. Let's see VYNE. No shelves on that one, and RVPH. No shelves, so no shelf registrations for those. RVPH, it's going to have to probably prove itself. It's dropped back down to 23% now. And it doesn't look like it moved that much on the hour chart or the 15-minute, but it's lost a little bit of steam. We'll see where it comes back to. Has this area down here between the $3 for a little bit of support before it hits the last known area of challenge by the buyers, which is under that 291. We'll see what happens there. And then it also has this side, the top side of the previous candle. Actually, that'll be support. That could be another challenge area right around the $4. So we'll see what it wants to do there. Back up to VYNE. Hit a high today of $4, or right around $4, for a little bit of resistance and a little bit of indecision right around the 3 again, before it hits that level of support that it had, or buying that it had. And CDT not looking the best, only $1.50. So it may not be able to give the range that we look for. But the relative volumes are going up. The average true ranges are going up. Let me put this thing by average true range. So at the top, of course, we have Tesla moving $10.56 average true range. That's a pretty big range, but it will definitely chop you around as it moves that range. And that's the thing. We look for a good range, but you need to know how fast it'll move that range, right? You don't want to get in something that's just a chop factory. TQQ, SOLX. Let's keep an eye on the spot. Wait, where's my? Here it is. The SPY up at 413 right now. The SPY has been descending. I mean, last week or the week before, it was up at 440s, all the way down to the 413s, kind of figuring out what it wants to do coming into the end of the year. But I think the main watch out of the open may be RVPH. It doesn't have the volume of these top two, but these, I just don't like the way they're looking. CDT and VYNE kind of getting tight in here, kind of holding very tight ranges. If we look at this support down here, which was the 312, and then a top side right here, 343. That's a very tight range coming into the open. It's going to have to make a decision before we kind of know what it's going to do. At least with RVPH, if shorts buy in the wrong place, it can range out. It can knock them out of there. We have about 10 minutes to the bell. And everything else that I see is pretty much under $1. So that's why I really just don't focus on the dollars. I'd rather get something that has a little bit of range, especially on Monday morning. Especially on Monday morning. But I think we're watching the right things. I usually try to find at least four stocks out of the open that are, taking the attention of the market. I don't really try to focus on too many because you could just get lost in the sauce. BYNE threw a little wick down here towards that 312 level. Got a little pushback over the VWAP, but it needs a stronger uptrend here. It had a nice uptrend from what, 2029 all the way up here to 345, but after this pullback has kind of really consolidated in here around and right above the $3. Good morning, GD in the building. Oh, I forgot about SoFi. SoFi really didn't SoFi really didn't do as great as I thought it would when student loans started back. Me and Reliable, we were talking about SoFi back when it was at 4, but it went up here, touched 10, and came back down to 6. I really thought SoFi would get more attention after the student loans open up, but looks like it's descending, descending. I guess that makes sense though, because most of the people that had student loans or whatever, they got shifted to a couple of specific companies. So SoFi probably didn't have their hand in those companies. So it would make sense that they wouldn't move that much. Okay, RVPH continuing to get its pops up, and like I said, I think this one's gonna be the favorite on the day because it's got the range. I want to see how it holds up 450 out of the open though. Will it come back into this range or will it continue to hold these levels up here above 450? Mm-mm. I was talking to Donnell the other week about pre-market trading and the strategies that seem to be doing very well in pre-market, especially for breakout traders. If you're taking breakouts, pre-market is where the rules of halts and not as many bots are pushing around these moves. Now, the beginning of the move, when the news first drops, you get these huge entries by bots, and they're gonna be the first ones there. Once you come over to the name, you're probably gonna see some long wicks, and you're gonna be like, wonder what happened on those wicks. Those are the bots entering. But after that, if you have a strategy to play the bot movement, those breakouts are pretty crazy. Because if you look right here on the 15 minute on RVPH, look at each one of these breakouts. It came up here, kind of settled after a nice long wick back up, buying pressure off the 218. Tried to make a move up over the 350, and then look at these breakouts. Boom. But I am looking at the 15 minutes, so maybe a little bit different on the 5 or the 1. Let me look on the 5. Let's look on the 1 minute. Okay, so this is the 1 minute. And we can see it came down here, had a nice little move here, and got going, which could have been a nice winner if you were willing to take profit. But if you were willing to hold, it did kind of hold over this previous indecision level here at the 259s. And this is why sometimes people drill down into the charts so they can see all of these ticks. I found for me, the more ticks that I see, the more restless I get. Like, I'm like, look, just show me 2. Don't show me 30. I want to see this consolidation and then get ready for this breakout, something over the 350, because the 350 is obvious on the 15 minute. But there was opportunity here from the 250s all the way up here to the 350. So I'm not gonna lie, that's some pretty good stuff. Let's jump over here to the 5 minute. You can see kind of the same thing, just on a bigger time frame. 10 and 15. But I usually use the 15 and the hour. So this is all I would have seen right here. I would have seen this thing come up, fail, and hold this level here. And I probably would have used this bottom as risk. So the $3 would have been the risk level there. But, you know, different strokes for different folks. So we have about 3 minutes or less to the bell. The oil is still going down, man. I don't even know. It might actually end up breaking down 80s. Hopefully it does. Be cheaper at the pump. When I was in it, I was bullish. I was like, man, let's go to 90, baby. All right, we're getting a little pushback into these areas of previous seller kind of war zone right here. Let's see if we get a push. Less than 2 minutes until the open, and the action will begin. BYNE pushing on down to this previous level, 310 level. This should actually be resistance. Very tight little range there. Multiple times failing up here in this level on the hour chart. See a nice little resistance here, across here. Now, if it can push back in here, maybe it'll get exciting for some people, but we'll see. This bar, this candle, 15-minute candle, does not look great, but it is coming into this previous indecisive support level. All right, so we have less than 30 seconds, and I think I'm gonna watch, probably gonna watch RVPH out of the open. Might do some switching back and forth between VYNE and RVPH. Good morning, Jim. Trying to figure out which one we're gonna watch. It's two of them that look relatively decent. RVPH and VYNE starting the race. So we're seeing RVPH come on down. Will it end up breaking through the 450? 450 mark was where I was like, that thing's probably gonna have to challenge that level. We'll see. Let's also keep an eye on VYNE. It hit this indecisive support level, which hasn't been tested yet, but now it's getting tested right now. Can it break back over 340s? Going towards 350 is the question on that one. Okay. RVPH getting on back down towards that 450 level, but still has a lot of buying pressure to defeat here. This big green candle down, what, 5% since the open. Let's look at this one getting pushed down as well. VYNE right at this indecisive support that we pointed out. Getting that touch. Will it be able to hold in this? What? Oh, giving up a little bit. Will it be able to hold the $3? All right, and RVPH still floating right above the 450. Who's going to pull back green on the day? RVPH tapping 450 now. So this tap wasn't the strongest tap. We'll see if we can go ahead and break it. Okay, a small break. Well, larger break now through the 450. Coming to this previous test site of this 414, the body of this previous hour candle, and a little bit of consolidation. So I wonder would there be a small bounce on that? Did it just halt? RVPH, did you halt? See, that's what I'm gonna miss on TOS. TOS, I wish they would tell us when there's a halt, man. There's a halt. So VYNE pulling back up here after touching the level of the $3 almost. Will it be able to show some green here and get strong back over the 350? Both of them are nice and red right now. Let me go and see top percent gainers. We're looking, man. We're looking. Looking back over here on the scans, top volume is pretty much done. We pretty much see the ones that are winning here. BYNE and CDT still up. And let's see if we have any small cap rangers. Don't see any yet. Mid cap rangers, not any yet. BYNE looking like it's doing a hard test towards the $3. Will it fail again here to get through that 3? Right now, ATR on BYNE is about 30 cents. So let's see what kind of wins can it give easily. 30 cents. I multiply that by 25. Like 7-cent winners on this one. 7-cent winners possibly. But jumping back up here after touching this indecisive support. The 5-minute candle is about to close in 15 seconds. And having a little party right above 3. Let's see when RVPH is going to be unhalting. RVPH halted at the 32.31. Should be opening up at the 37.31 in like 2 minutes. I'll try to remember that. I probably won't, but only up 14% now. This thing continues to hold this little indecisive level on the 15-minute, but I probably going to be looking for this thing to close here above this level, close above 310. I know that's a weird number, which doesn't make a lot of sense, but maybe if it can hold 310, we'll see. But if it wants to dump the 3 again, you know. All right. But still, if we look at the change from open, not huge moves green yet. This one's only up 2% out of the open. A lot of times when we see those strong ones, they get up 10% real quick. So just watching what that one wants to do. CDT, not a whole lot of motion over there. We're waiting for RVPH to pop back open. Okay, so 37s are here. I think it's 37.31 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 37.31. Here we go. About 10 seconds left on this one. VYNE is getting up to that 330 level. Couple seconds left on RVPH. Does it want to go ahead and dive on down towards that 4 or under the 4? Not a whole lot of sell-off. Still above this previous support level here of 410. Okay, getting on down there. Tapping that 410 level. And popping right there on that 4. It's entering the previous war zone there. All right, let's jump over to VYNE. Has covered the range now, looking towards the 350 breakout. 350 breakout coming. Let me put this resistance right here at the 350. And it is looking hungry for a breakout after holding these levels around the 310. It's one of the few that is still green on the day. Nice, Donnell. Entry 315, exit 327. Yeah. It was playing that range. But on this 15-minute candle, it did make a higher high. So that could be an indication that there's a little war that wants to go on towards that 350. Holding that higher high, breaking over this previous 341 if it can hold there. Coming back and playing this range again. Bottom side. So right now, this would be a 30-cent risk. Down to $3. Below $3, I would say it's showing a little weakness. It probably need to consolidate before something later on in the day. But as of right now, RVPH is also diving as well down there to $4, down almost 20%. Now we're looking for a revisit on VYNE to 350. It keeps playing right under 350 though. 341s. We just need a long string of 40s up here. There's some 40s, green 40s. Can we see 41s? It needs to get in the 40s and stay in the 40s. Okay, that was some weird action there. Had a little bit of a pop back up here. We may see some 40s come through right here. 36, 37. Can we see 38s? 36. There is a 38, 37. One of the few that's actually still green on the day. Right now, the RVOL on BYNE is huge. It's over 900. 900 of what its relative volume usually is, has an ATR of 31 cents. Huge relative volume right there. So if it breaks down into the 20s and holds the 20s, I don't know. Right at that 325, I guess they're trying to hold it above the $0.25 level. $29, $27. Uh-oh. 34s, 35s. Will we see 36, 37? Nope. Tell you what, man, this thing should have broke out by now, though, for real. But then again, maybe we're just impatient, low float people. Maybe it will be a grinder. But looking at the hour chart, we can see that it has made made lower lows, hasn't broke out any higher highs during intraday. So that may be a sign. Will it repeat that? I don't know. I'm feeling anxious for the shorts because it continues to pop back towards those 340s. It's only 10 cents away from 350. I'm seeing 40s on the tape as well. So let's see if they come back up. Big green 40 here. There's green 40s. Can we see those 41s? 41 in there quickly, but they're just they're going and then disappearing really, really quick. RVPH seems like it has died for the day, all the way back down to 10%. So we'll go ahead and clean that off. Oh, back down to 325 again. Multiple failures on this resistance. So maybe this thing does need to consolidate a little bit. We had calculated like 7-cent winners. So I believe it gave plenty of 7-cent winners in here from this 328 up to this 347. But, you know, that's for someone that's okay with 7 cents, right? If you're not okay, if you're greedy, you want 10, 12, 20 cents, you know, it may not have worked out for you. But we're back down to what used to be an indecisive level, looking like a decision is being made to go lower. CDT dumped down there now, 15% down. I'm not too interested in that. We have EAR that is up. EAR. What are you doing, ear? Just hit 1 million shares traded. It has a high relative volume as well, 34.5. It only has an ATR of 22 cents though. Let me look at this news. I believe we've seen EAR before. Ergo shares surged towards a take private deal price. Ergo shares higher after the company announced it will be taken private by Patient Square Capital. Okay, so that's some all right news, but it's not like news that'll overshadow anything. Ergo Patient to acquire all outstanding or Patient Square to acquire all outstanding Ergo shares it doesn't currently own for $2.55. It's at $2.53, so that's not worth it to me. It's already at the price that they wanted to purchase it. Buying here is probably just going to be a bad idea. If they're trying to buy at 255 and it said 253, that thing could drop on you immediately. Okay, let's look for what else is up here. Looking through PGY, what are you doing? Nothing. Nothing at all. Go down here. All right, so our top gainers right now are these three. All right, let's jump back over to BYNE. BYNE again, this is looking more and more like a trap, like it wants to dump through the three, especially after all of that testing up above VWAP to the 340s and failing. It's just not one that you can trust a whole lot, or not one that I can trust a whole lot. All right, let's see. Lori called out ear as well. Yeah, Lori says I don't like anything. Donnell said Vune. VUNE. That is one that I did not, or no, maybe that was a mistype. VYNE. Okay, got you. Lori said VYNE is a buy at 250 afternoon time. Okay. That may be a plausible, let's look over there, 250. What was happening at 250? Ooh, oh yeah, you trying to buy all the way back to where it came from, 250. Okay, I see. I see. She's slick right there. So 250 is like, I don't even know if I would take that today if it went down to 250. Maybe it has some correlation back here though. Okay, it does have a little bit of a support back here, which makes sense. That's why we always like to look back at the charts here, extended backwards. And yeah, 250 definitely has a couple of test sites through here or around the 250, 225-ish level. But see, that's the thing though. How patient are you gonna be for it to drop down there? And if it does drop down there, what is the probability that it'll pop back up? Because that's some patience right there. BYNE, again, like we said, coming back to this previously um, discussed level and looking like it wants to get $3 for real to me. I'm thinking it could be under $3 in the next couple of minutes. Here, CDT. Okay, but we are seeing a good start of Monday morning. Usually Monday morning is when the market likes to stir emotions. For those who don't realize that there's still 6 days left in the week, or actually with business days, it'll be 4 days left in the week to trade. Sometimes they get those emotions stirred on Monday, and that's what we can capitalize on for the rest of the week, right? But BYNE touching or got below $3 very quickly. Here looking like it's going to pull the same move. What is this? I don't like none of that. IBRX. What is this thing? All right, so it is now below the 3. What is IBRX doing? It's up 18%. What is this thing doing? Let's see if I can find any other ones quickly. Okay, what is CHRS? That does not look good. That's on a downtrend. All right, but IBRX is one of the ones that's up nice and green a little bit. Let me look at the reasoning here. Oh, that's why. Okay. Wondering why there was so many on this scan. I actually had to move all my stuff over from the old TOS, so this isn't the actual TOS that was here. They changed everything. You see like Schwab.com and the blue things up here, but they have not moved over my account information, so I can't actually trade on this until Friday. But I can still trade on my Street Smart Edge for now. But I still follow the same rules, making sure that I'm looking for something with range, looking like IBRX pushing towards this $3, up 14% on the day, well above VWAP as well. So this could be one that is a little bit more likely to hold. We'll see what a pullback looks like for it. But I still haven't looked at the news. Let's see what's this thing got going. Only 3 million shares traded. Not even up 20% yet. And it doesn't really have any news on today that I'm seeing, but it is a biopharmaceutical. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of ear. That's just an acquisition trap. I don't like it. BYNE under $3. I'm guessing Lori will be watching that thing until it gets to 250. It may be there quicker than you think with the way it's dumping. But yeah, pretty much seeing what the Monday morning market has to offer. Let's look at the SPY real quick and see if any news has popped out on that. All right, let's see. SPY President Biden asked about GM deal with UAW, says it is great. Okay. That's the first thing I'm reading. Apple, AMD, Palantir earnings on deck this week. U.S. Supreme Court turns away challenge to Trump era U.S. tariffs. Let's jump over here. Israel Hamas war day 24. Israel expands operations in Gaza. UN to hold emergency meeting. World Bank sees surging oil prices. Well, oil is definitely going down with what I'm seeing over here. So I don't know about the whole surging oil prices. Maybe it hasn't affected the market yet. Maybe. S&P says U.S. Fed is likely to hold steady on monetary policy at its rate setting meeting this week. Russian airport reopened after anti-Israel riot. So a couple of things going on around the world that could feed into some things, but nothing really standing out clear to me. I don't know. Yeah, okay. Let's see about the NASDAQ. NQ. Dow indexes, oil prices fall. So the SPY saying oil prices are surging. The Dow index says oil prices are falling, which I see clearly. Cisco's next earning could be strong. Okay. Nothing that catches my eye. It's all boring to me. All right, so let's jump back over here and see IBRX did get over $3. Is getting a little bit of love from the folks today. Up 22%. Average year-to-date volume was around 4 million, so it's right around that, above that average level. But broke out of this previous high, the 275s. I wonder will it come back and try to test this previous high, but this isn't a full body. This is only a wick. So I don't know how low it can come back into this wick here. Bottom side of this support is looking like the 239. So just trying to identify levels that it could possibly come back to. But IBRX has a lot of trading to do. Getting a big wick right here on the 15-minute out of nowhere. But still riding above the VWAP. So I'm sure people will still be trading this thing. Anyway, I haven't seen anything pop on my scans that has that big range, big ATR, and is a low float. So I will continue to watch throughout the day. One last look over here on the top volume movers. And this is now being graduated by the ATR. So we got Intel, IWM, all of these beautiful ATRs, but none of them are low flow. So we look over here on the shares. None of them looking like they'll have that lower float. RVPH, what ended up happening to you? Still down 20-something%. Look at that daily chart. Absolutely dumped down here back to this level. So just not intriguing at all. But anyway, that is it for me. This is the morning session. First 30 minutes after the open, kind of seeing what death wants to happen. I'll be back on Wednesday. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We're here to analyze the market, make good decisions in it, and take trades where we can manage the risk. But yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you're going to continue trading today, definitely keep your head on the swivel. It is Monday morning. It's only the start of the race. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.